What if the miracles attributed to Jesus weren't supernatural acts, but rather the result of a profound understanding of the power of the human mind? Imagine a scenario where the seemingly impossible feats were not divine interventions, but rather a display of the true potential we all possess. It's easy to see these events as beyond our reach. Yet, what if the real secret was not in some mystical power granted only to a chosen few, but in a specific, intentional use of language, a secret word, that unlocks the very fabric of reality? The implications of understanding this go far beyond simple curiosity. This is about reshaping your life, your experience, and your potential. This isn't a piece of historical trivia, but a transformative practice that puts you directly in the driver's seat of your own destiny. It's a key to not just understanding the past, but actively creating your future. This secret word, it turns out, is not some mystical incantation, but a way of being. It is a specific state of consciousness and intention, an internal alignment that generates tangible external changes. It's not about reciting a phrase like a spell, but about embodying a feeling, a knowing of the reality you desire. This is a form of mental self-engineering, a technique to consciously craft your experience by aligning your inner world with your desired outer reality. It's important to note that this isn't a new concept. Mystics and sages throughout history have understood this universal truth, passing down the wisdom through stories, parables, and sacred texts. What's most important to understand here is that this technique is accessible to anyone who is willing to explore it, and it's been hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. A key element to understanding this power lies in the recognition that your external world is always a reflection of your internal state. Each external manifestation is preceded by an internal shift. The world isn't happening to you, it's happening through you, based on your state of being. It's not about the words you say, but rather the feeling you hold, the knowing that you embody. Consider this alternative approach, that the miracles you have read about are merely the result of living from the end, having already embodied the feeling of the desire being fulfilled. The secret word isn't just a phrase, it's a state of being. The result of this is a direct connection between your inner world and your external experience. This understanding was not just known to a chosen few, but was part of a long line of forgotten wisdom. Now, let's consider this. What if this secret word is the very key to personal transformation and empowerment? It's not merely about understanding some arcane practice. It is about reclaiming the power you already possess to consciously shape your reality. The hidden truth reveals that this technique isn't about wishful thinking, but about intentionally creating your desired outcomes. This is not about asking for things, but becoming the very thing you want to manifest. You will soon discover that this knowledge transcends any single area of your life. It has the potential to impact your relationships, your finances, your health, and your overall well-being. The implications of understanding this are profound, because it directly ties your current experiences to your subconscious beliefs, suggesting that your reality has been created from your past programming. The missing component is this. Your current reality is a reflection of your past beliefs. This secret word offers a clear path to consciously reprogram these beliefs, changing your reality completely. It's worth noting that Neville Goddard taught us about assuming the feeling of our wish fulfilled, acting as if it's already real. That one teaching is the cornerstone of this practice, for it is the basis of how inner states create outer reality. This secret word is essentially a personal affirmation, a prayer that embodies your desired state of being. It's a tool designed to shift the subconscious into a new reality, rather than some magical spell. What this actually means is, it's not simply reciting words, it's living them. True faith, you will soon discover, isn't just blind belief, but an absolute knowing and feeling that your desired outcome is already a reality. This feeling, this embodied knowing, is what fuels the change. The most important thing to realize is that this process is not about performing external rituals. It's about an internal realignment, shifting the very core of your being to match the reality you seek. The technique is not just performed, it's felt, and it's lived. The shift has to start inside. This is about embodying the state of your desired outcome, and the internal shift is primary. So, if miracles aren't external events, could it be that this secret word is something much more than just a simple phrase? Could it be that the power is not in the words themselves, but in the energy and intention behind them? This technique has been hiding in plain sight, embedded in ancient teachings that most have overlooked for years, waiting to be rediscovered. And now you are. By applying this one technique, small shifts begin to happen. They are subtle but undeniable. The secret word is an internal practice that is about to change your perception of reality. This practice involves your subconscious, repetition, and a specific intention, and it takes a commitment of 21 nights. I will be showing you exactly why this time frame is so important. Let's delve deeper into this concept of living from the end, because it is the key that unlocks this secret practice. Neville Goddard, a luminary in the realm of manifestation, often spoke of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He urged us to act as if our desires were already a reality. It's not about pretending, but about genuinely embodying the feeling of having already received what you seek. This isn't a passive act, but a deliberate choice to align your inner state with your desired external experience. When you carry that feeling within you, it begins to shape your external world in ways you can't even imagine, like a magnet drawing what you need. Now, let's look at the biblical texts through this lens. You will start to see that these two sources aren't separate, but rather two versions of the same core principle. Consider the powerful biblical verse, "According to your faith be it done to you." This isn't a request for divine intervention, but an assertion of the power of your own internal state. Faith, in this context, isn't just blind belief. It's a deeply ingrained feeling, a knowing that your desire is already yours. It's this feeling that becomes the magnet, attracting your desired reality into physical form. The very act of holding that feeling is the first step in creation. It's living from the end, acting as if it's already real, that aligns your inner world with your external experience. To put this into perspective, consider how Jesus often lived from the end. He would give thanks for the healing before it manifested, or he would speak of the abundance as if it was already present. He didn't see a sick person and wish for healing. He saw a healed person and knew that it was already done. That is the power of living from the end, living from a place of already having. This highlights the importance of aligning your feelings with the outcome you desire. This secret word, then, is not about religious dogma, but about applying universal laws of consciousness. The Bible, when interpreted through the lens of metaphysics, is not just a religious text. It's a profound guide to the workings of the human mind and the nature of reality itself. Neville Goddard and the biblical teachings, viewed from this perspective, are not at odds. They're both revealing the same fundamental principles of manifestation, each with their unique perspective. It's the language that's different, but the core principles are identical. For instance, both sources emphasize the power of intention and feeling, both highlighting that you must become the version of yourself that already has the desire. This convergence of wisdom from seemingly disparate sources adds a great deal of credibility to this practice, revealing that these are not new or untested ideas. Rather, they are age-old truths, rediscovered again and again. So, how do you actually begin to embody this feeling of already having? How do you move beyond wishful thinking to a deep, unwavering certainty? It begins with understanding that faith, in its truest form, isn't about hoping for something, but knowing it already exists. It's about a feeling of confidence, a firm conviction that the reality you desire is already yours, even before it materializes in the physical world. When you operate from this knowing, you shift from a state of lack to a state of abundance, becoming a magnet for your desires. Your external world is a reflection of your internal state of being, and the more deeply you embody the feeling of your desire, the more powerfully it manifests. It's a feeling that has to be true in your core, and when it is, it creates the external experience you desire. Your feeling is the most potent manifesting tool you possess. Now, before I reveal the secret word, it's vital to prepare the subconscious mind, as this is the fertile ground where these new beliefs will take root. You see, a restless mind is like cluttered soil. If the soil is full of weeds, it cannot grow the seed. To begin this process, let's take a moment to calm the mind. Take a deep breath in and let it all go. Feel the tension leaving your body. Imagine each breath is clearing the mental weeds and creating space for new life. As you breathe, let the stress melt away and be replaced with a sense of peace. Just feel your mind quiet. This simple breathing exercise isn't just about relaxation, it's a vital form of mental preparation. This creates the ideal environment for new beliefs to take root. Your subconscious mind, much like fertile soil, needs to be receptive for any seed to take root. If the ground is hard, nothing can grow. Think of your mind like a garden. If it's full of weeds, those negative thoughts, and limiting beliefs, there's no space for new, positive seeds to grow. This is why a calm and receptive state is so important. Just as a gardener prepares the soil before planting, we must prepare our minds for this transformation. You can't expect a seed to grow if the soil is cluttered and overgrown. It's a necessity to clear out old thoughts that don't serve you so that the new ones can grow. This is why we have to consciously take the time to create a clear space. In doing so, we are setting the stage for success, and the seed of your desires can finally blossom. What's also interesting is that the practice of stillness and mindfulness isn't just some spiritual concept, it's also backed by science. When you enter a relaxed state, your brainwaves shift into alpha and theta states, which are known to be optimal for learning and reprogramming your beliefs. This is when the subconscious mind is most receptive to new information and is the ideal time to plant the seeds of your intention. This is not just about relaxing, but consciously creating the conditions for transformation. You're intentionally shifting your brainwave patterns to create a state that's conducive to change. By aligning your mind with intention and the power of stillness, you are optimizing yourself for manifestation. Therefore, this preparation isn't a passive step, but an active form of intention setting. It's not enough to just relax. You must actively create a receptive environment for your desires. Just as you'd carefully prepare a garden for new seeds, you must consciously prepare your mind. Each breath, each moment of stillness is an intentional act, setting the stage for the powerful transformation to come. You are not just calming your mind, you are aligning yourself with your desired outcome. This is a deliberate process, just as important as the secret word itself, as it sets the tone and ensures the best possible results. It's where you prepare the ground for the seeds of your new reality. Now, let's finally reveal the secret word. It isn't a mystical phrase or a religious incantation, but a personal affirmation tailored specifically to your desires. It's a statement that embodies the feeling of your wish fulfilled, spoken with intention and conviction. For example, instead of saying, "I want abundance," you would say, "I am abundance." Instead of wishing for love, you would declare, "I am love." Instead of seeking wholeness, you would affirm, "I am whole." Notice that each statement is in the present, and it is in the I am format because this reflects the feeling that it is true now. This is not a wish, it's a statement of fact. This is how you begin to create your own personalized affirmation, a declaration of the reality you choose to inhabit. The technique involves not just saying these words, but feeling them as though they're already true. The act of speaking the affirmation is just the beginning. The real power lies in the emotional connection. To truly make the practice work, you have to feel the truth of the affirmation and embody the feeling fully. It's about stepping into the reality where your affirmation is already a given, a present reality. When you feel the affirmation, you become the embodiment of the very thing that you are affirming. The feeling is what makes it real in your subconscious, not just the words themselves. To make this practice even more potent, you should connect your affirmation with a strong mental image of your desired reality. Close your eyes and see it as if it has already happened. Imagine the sights, the sounds, the smells, and even the touch of your desired reality. Engage all of your senses. The more detail you include, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. This visualization isn't just a daydream. It's a way of actively engaging with the reality you wish to create. It's the very act of mentally living in the end result. This process actively shapes your subconscious mind and gives it the emotional charge it needs to manifest. Each repetition of your affirmation solidifies the message to your subconscious mind, like carving a new path in the mind. Each repetition is a deeper and more impactful imprint of the affirmation. Think of it as a form of self-hypnosis, embedding these new beliefs deep within your subconscious. The more you repeat your affirmation with feeling and conviction, the more powerful the impact becomes. It is this repetition, combined with the emotional embodiment, that begins to reprogram your subconscious mind. The phrase is not just repeated, but it becomes a stronger and more resonant truth with every iteration. Now, for this practice to take hold, it's essential that you make a commitment to consistency. That's why I recommend this practice for 21 nights. This 21-night period is not arbitrary. It's rooted in the science of habit formation. It's been shown that it takes approximately 21 days to create a new neural pathway, which is why this time frame is so powerful. Just as it takes consistent watering for a plant to grow, it takes consistent repetition for a new belief to take root. Think of this as a mental workout, training your mind to align with your desires. This 21-day period is a period of deep subconscious reprogramming that takes time and consistency. During this 21-night period, it's completely normal to experience challenges and resistance. You might find yourself doubting the practice, or you might experience moments where your old beliefs seem to be pulling you back. This is entirely normal, and it's simply a sign that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. These moments of self-sabotage are just tests that require you to reaffirm your commitment to change. It's like the feeling of muscles being sore after a good workout. It's a sign that you're growing. To overcome these moments, it's important to actively recognize the resistance as it arises and to immediately reaffirm your commitment to the practice. Each night's repetition builds upon the previous nights, creating a cumulative effect that is truly transformative. Each night is not a standalone effort, but a continuation of the last. Think of it like compounding interest, where the effects grow exponentially over time. Just as a seed needs time and consistent care to grow, these new beliefs need time to develop. As you continue to repeat the affirmation, you deepen the imprint in your subconscious, shifting your core beliefs. This is the power of consistency. The changes aren't instantaneous. They're a gradual accumulation, transforming your subconscious over time. Finally, during this 21-night period, the intention behind the practice is as critical as the practice itself. It's important not to just go through the motions, but to truly embody the feelings of the affirmation with every repetition. It's not about the repetition, but the power behind it. The intent you bring to the practice makes the difference between a surface-level exercise and a powerful shift in your subconscious. You must embody the feeling that the affirmation is true and that you are actively changing your reality with your intention. This is where the true power of this practice lies, aligning your conscious intention with your subconscious programming. Now, after you have performed the technique each night, it's vital to let go of your attachment to the outcome. Clinging too tightly to a desire is like repeatedly digging up a seed to check if it's growing. It actually disrupts the process. It's important to release your need for control and allow the manifestation to unfold in its own time. Your desire isn't meant to be chased, but rather released. You've done the work, now it's time to trust the process. When you release the need to control, you open yourself up to the manifestation process. Remember, true faith is not about hopping, but about knowing. It's about having unwavering confidence that your desired outcome is already on its way. This knowing is a state of being, not just wishful thinking. The process isn't about chasing, but allowing. The knowing is what propels the manifestation into reality. To see the fruits of your labor, you must have that deep certainty, the feeling that the seed is already growing beneath the surface. That is how you have true faith. It's not wishful thinking, it is certainty. Constant worry and doubt are like weeds in the garden of your mind. They hinder the manifestation process and create resistance to your desires. If you find yourself worrying about whether the practice will work, then you are blocking its manifestation. Worry is the opposite of faith and will stop the process in its tracks. You can actively shift your focus back to knowing that the process is already working and that it is inevitable. Remember that this is a normal part of the process and that you can shift it. When you feel doubt start to creep in, simply return to the feeling of knowing that it is already done. Lastly, the universe responds to who you are being, not to what you are desperately wanting. If you embody the feeling of already having your desires, you naturally attract those experiences into your reality. If you believe you are already abundant, you will attract abundance. If you believe you are already loved, you will attract love. It is not about what you're chasing, but about who you are choosing to be. This is how you align yourself with your desires, and this is why you must embody the feeling, not just speak the words. The universe is not responding to what you want. It's responding to the reality you embody. So let's really explore how this works within your subconscious, because this is the powerhouse behind your manifestation. Your subconscious mind isn't a passive recorder of your experiences. It's the active program running the show, constantly shaping your reality based on the beliefs it holds. It's like the operating system of a computer, running quietly in the background, executing code that dictates the way you experience life. This program is always on, influencing your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and therefore what you manifest into your life. Understanding this is the first step to taking control of it, to rewriting the code of your subconscious mind. This is the power you possess, the ability to reprogram the inner workings of your mind to align with your desires, and you can do it with intention. Think of it. Just like you can rewrite a computer program to change its function, you can rewrite your subconscious to change the course of your life. It's not some mystical or magical process. It's a matter of understanding how your mind works and using that knowledge to your advantage. The old beliefs that you've held up until now, even the ones that you don't consciously recognize, have been creating your reality up until now, and you can actively change that. Now, how do you begin to reprogram this powerful inner system? It starts with crafting your own personal affirmation. This isn't just about throwing together some nice-sounding words. It's about carefully choosing phrases that deeply resonate with you and evoke the feeling of your desired state. It needs to be specific and powerful and should embody the feeling you want to experience. For instance, if you want to attract wealth, don't say, "I want to be rich." Instead, declare, "I am wealthy," and feel the abundance flowing through you. If you desire love, don't wish for a relationship. Affirm, "I am loved," and embody the feeling of being cherished and adored. If you seek healing, don't hope for wellness. Instead, proclaim, "I am whole," feeling the wholeness in every cell of your being. It's not about what you lack, but about what you already possess. This isn't just a string of words. It's a declaration of who you already are, and a way to step into the version of yourself that already has it. So, each affirmation is a statement of fact, declaring the reality you are choosing to inhabit. The key is to formulate an affirmation that resonates deeply within you, making you feel the reality you are declaring. But the affirmation is not just a string of words, it's a vessel for emotion. The true power lies not in the words themselves, but in the feeling they evoke. This isn't merely reciting a phrase, it's about fully embodying the feeling of your wish fulfilled, using that feeling as fuel. When you couple your affirmation with vivid mental images, the process becomes even more potent. Close your eyes and see your desired outcome as if it's already a reality. Engage all of your senses. Feel the sun on your skin, hear the sounds of your surroundings, smell the scents in the air, and even taste the feelings associated with your desired reality. If you're affirming abundance, feel the texture of the money in your hands. Hear the sound of a full bank account, taste the sweetness of the freedom that wealth provides, and feel the deep sense of security. If you're affirming love, feel the warmth of another's touch. Hear the sound of loving laughter, see the smile of your beloved, and taste the sweetness of connection. It's the experience you create within that truly makes it real to the body. By bringing your desires to life with all your senses, you aren't just visualizing, you're actively creating that reality in your subconscious. And when the visualization feels real to the body, that's when the affirmation takes hold. This is the magic, bringing all of your senses together to make it real. Now, for this practice to truly take root, it's not enough to just do it once or here and there. Consistency is essential. That's why committing to repeating your affirmation for 21 consecutive nights is so important. This isn't some arbitrary number. It's grounded in the science of habit formation and subconscious reprogramming. Think of each night's repetition as an act of deepening a new pathway in your brain, creating a stronger connection with the reality you desire. Just as a path becomes more well-trodden with repeated use, your new affirmation becomes more ingrained in your subconscious with each repetition, reshaping the way your mind operates. These 21 nights aren't just about repeating a phrase. They are about building a new neural pathway, about creating a new reality within yourself. It's the consistency, the repetition, and the intention that truly forges a new way of being. You are quite literally rewiring the pathways of your mind and choosing a new path for yourself. During this 21-night commitment, it's also completely normal to encounter moments of doubt and resistance. You might find yourself questioning whether the practice is actually working, or you might experience a pull back toward your old limiting beliefs. The important thing to remember is that these moments are not a sign that the practice is failing. They are a signal that it's working. It's like feeling the burn of your muscles after a workout, a sign that your body is growing stronger. Resistance is often an indication that you are on the verge of a breakthrough, that your old beliefs are being challenged by your new intentions. When doubt starts to creep in, use it as an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment and your chosen reality, actively shifting your focus back to knowing that your desire is already on its way. These moments of doubt are simply tests of your resolve, invitations to reinforce the truth of your affirmation. You see, this process requires you to be active in your commitment. Every time you feel the doubt, reaffirm the practice. That is how you push through. Finally, after you've committed to the practice each night, it is crucial to release your attachment to the outcome, because this is where many people stumble. It's a paradox, I know. You have to do the work, you have to believe, but then you must also let go of the how and the when. This isn't about giving up or becoming indifferent. It's about actively trusting that the process is unfolding perfectly and in its own time. It's like planting a seed and knowing it needs time to grow. You wouldn't repeatedly dig up the seed to check its progress, would you? That would actually disrupt the growth process. Instead, you plant the seed and trust that it's growing beneath the surface. It is a combination of both doing the work and letting it grow on its own. It's about recognizing that you've done your part, and now you must trust that the universe is working on your behalf. This is where the real work of manifestation begins, in the surrendering, and that might be the most challenging part for many people. You must let go of your need to control and allow the process to unfold on its own. This act of letting go also has the effect of shifting you into a state of knowing, a state where you're not chasing the manifestation, but becoming it. It's about focusing on the inner shift, rather than the external results. You're not waiting for a sign, you're becoming the sign. You should not look for external shifts, but look within. The external changes will naturally follow the internal shifts. When you operate from a place of peace and contentment, knowing that the process is already underway, you align with the reality you seek. It's about embodying the feeling of already having what you desire, which in turn will create the external experience. The inner work is what creates the outer manifestation. Remember that you're not looking for a miracle, you're embodying it. This is where the real power lies, in the internal knowing that the work is already done. So, how do you know that this is all working? Well, start to pay attention to the subtle shifts both within you and in the world around you. These changes aren't always obvious or dramatic, but rather a gradual alignment with the reality you are creating. These shifts might manifest as a newfound sense of ease or peace, new opportunities or resources appearing unexpectedly, or positive shifts in your relationships. Maybe you find yourself in new places, in front of new people. These seemingly random events are actually a direct response to the shift in your consciousness. They are synchronicities, not coincidences, indicating that your internal changes are rippling outward, manifesting into your external world. These aren't random events. They're signals that the universe is responding to your internal shift. The world around you will start to reflect the changes you've made within yourself. Finally, for the affirmation practice to work most powerfully, make it the last thought on your mind before you drift off to sleep. The subconscious mind is most receptive to suggestion during the state of sleep, making this a powerful time for reprogramming. By repeating your affirmation as your final thought, you're essentially planting a seed in your subconscious right before it goes to work all night. Think of it as reinforcing the new belief while your mind is resting. This allows your mind to work on the affirmation all night long, embedding it even more deeply. The repetition of the affirmation during this vulnerable time allows the message to sink deep into your subconscious mind. This is why it is so important to let the last thought on your mind before sleep to be your affirmation. Now, to solidify this practice, I invite you to commit to the 21-night journey. Make this declaration in the comments by sharing your own personal I am affirmation. This isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's a public affirmation of your commitment, creating a sense of community and accountability. By declaring your intention, you're taking a powerful step toward making your desires a reality. So type your personal I am affirmation in the comments below, and let's embark on this journey together. By taking action and making this declaration, you're stepping into your power as a creator. Now, let's deepen this understanding by exploring how the concept of living from the end, a cornerstone of Neville Goddard's teachings, aligns with profound biblical wisdom. Neville often spoke about the importance of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and this is not just a modern idea. Look at the biblical stories of characters who acted as if their desires had already manifested long before they became their reality. For instance, consider Abraham, who was promised countless descendants, yet he acted as if he already possessed this reality long before his son Isaac was born. Or think about the story of the woman with the issue of blood, who believed that if she just touched the hem of Jesus' garment, she would be healed. She acted from a place of knowing, long before her healing manifested. These stories, when viewed through a metaphysical lens, show us that faith isn't blind hope, but a deep internal knowing that shapes external reality. Both Neville Goddard and the Bible use different language, yet they converge on the same core principle: to know is to be. When you embody the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, you're essentially stepping into that reality, making it tangible and bringing it forth. You aren't waiting for it, you are being it. The power isn't in the waiting, but in the being. So is this secret word rooted in religious dogma? Not at all. It's grounded in the universal laws of consciousness, principles that have been understood for ages and woven into spiritual teachings across cultures. It's not about blindly following a religious script, but about understanding the deeper power of intention, which is a powerful component in manifesting reality. Look at the Bible and consider some key verses that talk about the power of intention, not in a religious sense, but in a metaphysical one. Consider the verse from Proverbs 18:21, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue," which reveals that your words, backed by intention and feeling, carry immense creative power. Think also of the verse in Matthew 9:29, "According to your faith let it be done to you," which emphasizes that your internal state of belief, not just your words, dictates your external experience. These verses, when viewed outside the lens of traditional religious reading, highlight that it's not the mere act of praying that brings forth change, but rather the intention and the feeling that fuels the prayer that shapes the outcome. Your intention, amplified by your emotions, is the driving force behind all manifestation. The universe responds not to your wishes, but to your state of being. Now, let's explore faith, because this is another core piece to making this work. Faith isn't just about believing something will happen, it's about a deep feeling and an unshakable knowing that it has already happened. It's an active state of being, an embodiment of your desired reality. The Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. This isn't about wishful thinking, it's about fully occupying the feeling of your desired outcome. When you live from the end, you aren't merely hopping for the best, you're knowing the best is already here. It's aligning your inner state with your desired reality, bringing it forth. When you live from the end, you are no longer chasing, you are attracting. This is why feeling is so important, as it is the catalyst for change. It is the energy behind your intention that creates your reality. Your feelings are as potent as an experience. This connection between feeling and the end result is what transforms desire into reality. Don't just wish for it, feel it into existence. Your feelings are the key, not just your thoughts. By drawing parallels between Neville Goddard's teachings and these interpretations of biblical wisdom, we begin to see that they're not separate, but interconnected expressions of the same universal truths. They converge on the idea that your internal alignment is the key to external manifestation. The secret word isn't some magic incantation. It's the deliberate use of language, combined with deep feeling, to shift your internal state, and in turn, your external world. Whether you call it living from the end, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, or having faith, the core principle remains. The power to create shifts is within you. This isn't about following any specific set of religious beliefs. It's about understanding the power of your consciousness and using it to shape your reality. These are not different concepts, but different ways of expressing the same universal truth, the idea that your inner world creates your outer reality. These ideas have been understood for centuries, and now it's time to take them into your life. Now, before we dive into the specific technique, let's talk about preparing your mind, because without this preparation, the practice will not take root. Think about planting a seed. You wouldn't just throw it on hard, uncultivated ground and expect it to grow, would you? You would first prepare the soil, ensuring that it's fertile and receptive. Your mind is no different. You need to create a calm and receptive mental state for your new beliefs to take root and blossom into reality, and this begins with conscious breathing. So let's take a moment together and just breathe. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just let go of the tension in your body. Feel your mind quiet, just for a moment, as you breathe in and breathe out. This isn't just about relaxing, but about actively creating the space for new seeds of intention to be planted and grow. This is active preparation, a way to create fertile ground for the practice to take root. This breath is what helps you create the space you need to move into your desired reality. The subconscious mind is like that fertile ground, and in the same way that fertile ground needs to be cleared of weeds, so too does your mind. If your mind is cluttered with negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt, it's going to be difficult for your new affirmations to take hold, making it a vital component of this process. So the first step is always clearing out the negativity. Think of your negative thoughts as weeds that are choking the life out of your garden. These weeds need to be pulled out to allow space for new and beautiful plants to grow. To create the space, you need to cultivate stillness. Quieting your mind isn't just a form of relaxation, it's an active way of making space for new beliefs. Just like clearing away weeds makes room for a new garden, clearing your mind allows new beliefs to take root. By deliberately making time for this quiet contemplation, you're creating the ideal conditions for new and empowering beliefs to grow. This is an active way of making space for your desires to take root in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind. So take time to pull those weeds of doubt so that your affirmations can grow. Now, let's look at the science of this, because it's always more helpful when it's more than just a feeling. The practice of stillness isn't just a spiritual concept. It has a scientific basis in the way that our brains operate. When you relax and quiet your mind through practices like mindfulness and meditation, your brainwaves shift into an alpha and theta state, which are known to be more receptive to reprogramming. Alpha waves are associated with a relaxed and calm state of mind, while theta waves are linked to deep relaxation and creativity. In these states, the subconscious mind becomes more open to suggestion, making it the perfect time to implant new beliefs. When you quiet the external world, you begin to hear your internal one. This is why meditation and mindfulness aren't just spiritual practices. They are tools that create a specific brain state that's most conducive for the implantation of new beliefs. By creating space in the mind, you are more open to the process. This preparation, therefore, isn't a passive step. It's an active step towards setting clear intentions. You're intentionally creating the internal environment that's conducive for growth. Think of it as a farmer preparing the soil, not just to relax, but to create the right conditions for a bountiful harvest. This is where you are actively working on yourself before you can actively shift your outer reality. This work is needed before your affirmation can take hold. It's about creating the internal shift that will naturally lead to external manifestation. The work must always begin within you, and it will lead to the shifts that you desire. So you must set this intention, creating the fertile ground for manifestation. This is where you get to cultivate the new reality that you wish to live in. With your mind now prepared, let's finally get to the technique and the secret word. But remember, this isn't just a word, it is a carefully crafted personal affirmation, an I am statement that embodies your desired outcome. This isn't a one-size-fits-all phrase you pick out of a book. It's a declaration of your own unique power. Your affirmation is something that resonates with you, something that feels true and aligned with your deepest desires. Take a moment and ask yourself, what is it that I want to embody? If you seek abundance, then perhaps your affirmation might be, I am the embodiment of limitless abundance. If you seek love, your affirmation might be, I am the purest expression of love and connection. If you seek healing, your affirmation might be, I am whole, healthy, and vibrant. It's up to you to select the words that resonate most deeply within you. The words are a vehicle for the intention. These are not just phrases. They are seeds of intention that you plant into your subconscious. Remember, this is your affirmation, and it should feel powerful to you. So now you have your personalized affirmation, but here's the thing. You can't just recite these words mindlessly. You must embody the feeling of the affirmation. Your affirmation is a new reality you are stepping into, not just something that you are saying. You must become the affirmation. So rather than saying, I want to be abundant, declare, I am abundance, and truly feel the wealth and prosperity flowing through you. Don't wish for love, become love, feeling the warmth and joy of connection. Rather than hopping to be healed, embody wholeness, feeling vibrant and energetic. Here's an example that you can try right now. Say to yourself, I am the divine expression of peace, and as you say it, feel the peace washing over you. Let that feeling grow and become your new reality. Feel the weight of that truth within your body. The words are just a tool. What you truly need is the feeling. Live the words, don't just say them. Your body will follow when it feels the truth of the affirmation. And now it's time to add the visualization element to this practice, and this is where you begin to fully solidify the affirmation. As you repeat your affirmation, close your eyes and create a vivid mental picture of your desired outcome. Engage all of your senses. Feel what it feels like to be in that state. See what it looks like. Hear what it sounds like. Imagine yourself already living the affirmation. If your affirmation is, I am the embodiment of limitless abundance, then see yourself in a space of wealth and prosperity. Feel the abundance flowing through your life. Hear the sounds of opportunity and joy. Taste the sweetness of financial freedom. If your affirmation is, I am the purest expression of love and connection, then imagine yourself surrounded by love. Feel the warmth of connection. See the smile of your loved ones and hear the laughter and joy. The key is to bring your affirmation to life through the power of your imagination, making it feel as real as possible. The visualization and the feeling are what solidify the affirmation. It's not the thought that matters as much as it is the feeling behind it. The subconscious does not care about reality, it only cares about feeling. The power of this affirmation is amplified with repetition, and the more you repeat it, the more you carve new pathways in your mind. Each repetition is a step toward a new reality. Think of your mind as a vast network of pathways, and with each repetition of your affirmation, you're creating a new pathway, making it stronger and more established. The more you use a path, the more solid it becomes. So each time you repeat the affirmation, you are strengthening that connection. With each repetition, the affirmation sinks deeper into your subconscious, solidifying your belief in the reality you are creating. This isn't just about reciting words, it's about actively reshaping your mind, choosing a new path for yourself. Every repetition is a step towards creating a new reality. Now, to truly make this stick, remember the importance of the 21-night commitment, because this isn't about a one-time practice, this is about consistent reprogramming. This 21-night commitment isn't just about repeating your affirmation mindlessly, it's about consistently reaffirming your new reality with intention. Each night, you're reinforcing the message to your subconscious, carving a new pathway in your mind, making it stronger and more established with each repetition. So you're not just saying the affirmation, you're actively building the pathways in the mind that will manifest it. Like a muscle that strengthens with each repetition, your new belief system gets stronger with each night. This consistency is what allows the new belief to take root and reshape your reality. So this 21-night commitment is your way of choosing to build a new pathway to your new reality. As you go through this 21-night process, there will also be times where you'll encounter challenges and resistance, and that is completely normal. You might find yourself doubting the process, or old limiting beliefs may surface, and that's okay. These are all just common self-sabotaging thoughts that will try to pull you back into your old reality, but you are stronger than they are. It's important to understand that these challenges aren't a sign of failure. They are actually a sign that the practice is working, that the old ways are being challenged by your new intentions. Think of it like this. When you exercise, your muscles get sore, which means that they are getting stronger, and the same goes for your mind. These moments of resistance are opportunities to strengthen your resolve and reaffirm your commitment to your new reality. The key is not to allow these doubts to take over. Rather, use them as a reminder of what you are working towards. Be aware of the doubts and actively choose to overcome them. This is also why it is so important to focus on the cumulative effect of each night's repetition, because every effort is building on the last. It's not about expecting instant results after one night. It's about understanding that consistency over time will produce the change that you seek. Think of it like building a house. One brick alone won't create a home, but brick after brick over time creates something sturdy and strong. Each night's repetition is a brick in the foundation of your new reality. You're building towards your new life with every practice. Every effort builds upon the last, creating a momentum that will lead you to the results you desire. It is important to trust in the process and know that every effort is moving you closer to your manifestation. It's consistency over time that yields results. It's not the big moments, but the consistent ones. And finally, let's talk about the intention behind the practice, because the technique is only a starting point. The technique alone is not enough. The intention behind the technique is what makes it potent. Intention is the driving force behind all manifestation, the catalyst that transforms your desires into reality. The affirmation is just a tool to get into alignment, but the intention behind it is what does the real work. It's not about just repeating the words. It's about embodying them, about feeling the truth of the affirmation deep within yourself. The technique is simply the starting point. You have to have the feeling, the knowing, and the embodiment of that feeling in order to shift your reality. This practice is just the gateway to stepping into a new way of being, a new state of mind, and a new reality. Remember, the technique isn't enough. You must back it up with clear and potent intention. So, after you've committed to the practice and you've been consistent with your affirmation, you must release your attachment to the outcome. Clinging too tightly to the result actually hinders the manifestation process, which is something most people have a hard time understanding. It's a paradox. You have to do the work, you have to believe, but then you must also let go of the need to control the how and the when. It's like planting a seed. You wouldn't repeatedly dig up the seed to check its progress, would you? That would only disrupt its growth. Instead, you must plant the seed, nurture it, and then trust that it will grow on its own. The same goes for your manifestation. You must do the work, plant the seed, and then let it go to do its own work. You've done what you need to do. Now, step out of the way and let it do its work. This act of letting go is not wishful thinking. It's a deep knowing that the universe is working on your behalf. True faith is not about hopping, but rather about an unwavering knowing that the process is already underway. This knowing is an active force, not just a passive hope. So the idea of feeling it real comes into play here, because you have to fully embody the feeling of your desire being fulfilled. You must be in the feeling of having it already. You've done what you need to do, and now you must live in the feeling and the knowing that it is happening. Your knowing must be stronger than your doubt, and this is where you must focus your energy. So if you are wanting a new job, you must step into the feeling of having the job, feeling the excitement of the work, and the joy of having found the thing that calls to you. The universe responds to your feeling. Now here's the thing. Constant worry and doubt are self-defeating to the manifestation process. It actively works against your intention. Worry is a form of focusing on what you don't want, which only serves to attract more of the same. This is a self-sabotaging pattern that will keep you stuck. Whenever worry starts to creep in, it's a sign that you have lost focus on your desired outcome, and you must shift your attention back to the knowing, back to the feeling of it already being yours. If you find yourself worrying about the outcome, actively choose to focus on the feeling of having already received it. This is a practice, and the more you do it, the more control you have. You are always in control of your focus, and you must take responsibility for that. If you are constantly thinking about what you lack, that is what you will attract. Your focus is always the key. Finally, remember that the universe responds to your state of being, not your wants. So, embodying your desire is key. The universe is a mirror that reflects back to you who you are, not what you're desperately chasing. If you are always in a state of wanting, that is what will be reflected back to you. This is why embodying the feeling of your affirmation is so important. You are becoming the person who already has what you desire. By embodying the feeling of your desired state, you align with the energy of your desired outcome. Remember that your manifestation is not just about receiving, it's about becoming. You must become the person who already has the desire, so you must step into the role of the new version of you. As you continue with your practice, you'll begin to see subtle shifts, both internally and externally. The changes aren't always dramatic, they're usually more subtle, like a sense of ease or peace. These small internal shifts start to create external shifts. Begin to pay close attention to the world around you and to your internal feeling. These changes are usually imperceptible at first, but they are still evidence that the practice is working, so watch for them. As you start to notice these shifts, it will only help you believe more in the practice. So pay attention to the subtleties. They are just as important as the big shifts. Your internal changes are just the beginning of your external shifts. Also, watch for those subtle synchronicities, because they are not coincidences. Synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, a sign that you're aligning with your desired reality, and you might find that new opportunities or resources are appearing unexpectedly. These were always there, but you are now in alignment with them. These synchronicities aren't random. They are evidence that the universe is responding to your new internal state of being, and that you are now in alignment with your desires. These opportunities are all around you. You just have to be open to receive them. So take note of the synchronicities, as it's a sign that your affirmation is working, and your reality is beginning to shift. These aren't random events. They are the universe responding to the energy you're sending out. The world around you will start to reflect your internal changes. These shifts, both internal and external, are evidence that your affirmation is taking root, so pay close attention to them. Remember that this journey is about making a transformation from the inside out. You might not see grand shifts at first, but the small internal shifts are a sign that the practice is working. Even just a sense of peace and contentment is proof that you are aligning with your new reality. It's not about waiting for the external changes. It's about noticing the internal changes, which will lead to the external ones. When you feel at peace, that is proof that the practice is working. And finally, if you do feel any resistance during this stage, that is completely normal, but the key is to know how to handle it. Just acknowledge the feeling and then return to the practice, focusing on your affirmation. These are just hurdles that you need to overcome. Know that feeling resistance means that the practice is working. These feelings are simply the last vestiges of your old reality trying to hold on, but you have the power to push through. Doubt and resistance are a sign that the old ways are being challenged, and you are on the right path. Know that these feelings are normal, and they mean you are on the brink of a breakthrough. You have the strength to overcome these challenges and to fully step into the reality you are creating. Now, it's time for you to step into your power and to commit to the 21-night practice, because this is where you really shift your reality. This is about taking charge of your life, stepping into the person you are meant to be. This isn't just a theory. It's a practical technique that can transform your life, and it is up to you to make the commitment to that. This is your opportunity to create the shifts that you desire, to step into a new way of being, so don't hesitate and take this opportunity. So embrace the power within you and begin to choose a new reality. This is your chance to actively rewrite the script of your life. And to further solidify this commitment, I invite you to declare it in the comments below. Type, "I am the miracle," and by doing so, you're publicly stating your intention and creating a sense of community and support, connecting with others who are on the same path. Publicly declaring your intention helps to further solidify the practice and to keep you accountable for the next 21 nights. And with that, know that you are not alone and that you are a part of a larger community. The power of the collective can help you move into this new reality. It is always good to have support when you are creating new habits. Also, remember to make your affirmation the last thought on your mind before sleep, because this is when the subconscious mind is most receptive to suggestion, making it a powerful time for reprogramming. When you go to bed thinking about your affirmation, you are essentially planting a seed in your subconscious mind. That way it can work on that affirmation all night long. So, as you drift off to sleep, let your affirmation sink in, embedding itself deeply into your subconscious. This last moment of the day is so important, so do not take it lightly. This is the perfect opportunity to solidify your new belief. Finally, I invite you to share your experiences in the comments over the next 21 days to support and encourage each other, because you are not alone. This is an interactive experience, and by sharing your insights and supporting each other, you can help to create a more powerful shift in your own life and for the collective. By using the comment section, you can create a powerful community. This isn't just a solo journey, we are all in this together. Your insights could be exactly what another person needs to hear. So let's use this space to share, to grow, and to manifest our desires together. And as you do, know that you are not alone. So let's take all of that and really bring this together, because now it's time to make the connection between your inner state and the miracles you seek. Remember, the miracles aren't supernatural acts that come from some external source. They are a natural outcome of aligning your internal state with your desired reality. Think back to the concept of living from the end, and remember that feeling is the active component of faith. It's not just about wishing for something, it's about embodying the feeling of already having it, living as if your desire has already manifested. This affirmation is a tool, a powerful way to create that alignment so the external manifestation can naturally follow. The secret word isn't the cause of the shift, it's the alignment that it creates within you that allows manifestation to occur. It's a way to access the feeling that creates the shift. You're not just repeating words. You're stepping into a new state of being, and with each repetition, you reinforce this new state. So let this be the core understanding before you move forward. The affirmation is not magic, it's a tool to help you to shift your internal state of being. This affirmation, therefore, isn't just a set of words. It's a form of self-hypnosis, a way of reprogramming your subconscious mind, and with each repetition, you're reinforcing the message, imprinting a new reality onto your inner world. Think about it. When you repeat a phrase with intention and feeling, you're essentially sending a command to your subconscious, which will then work to bring that command to life. The more you repeat it with feeling and conviction, the deeper the message is imprinted, creating a new belief. This consistent repetition, therefore, is how your affirmation becomes more than just a phrase. It becomes a new reality within you. You are changing your internal program, and this change is what is needed to shift your external world. The phrase itself is just the vehicle, the alignment is the work. It's a tool that changes your program, one repetition at a time. This is an active way of changing the internal program of beliefs that shapes your life, so take it seriously. Now, let's get even more specific, because the true power lies not just in the words themselves, but in the feeling you connect them with. It's not enough to just repeat the affirmation mindlessly. You must embody the feeling of it to make it real. For example, if your affirmation is, "I am abundant," don't just say the words. Imagine yourself in a space of wealth. Feel the abundance flowing through you. See the evidence of your prosperity all around you. Hear the sounds of opportunity and joy. Even taste the sweetness of your success. Engage all of your senses and let the feeling become so real to your body that it has no choice but to accept it as true. If your affirmation is, "I am healthy," then feel the vitality flowing through you. See your body in perfect form. Hear the sounds of your energy. Feel the lightness and strength in your muscles. The key is to make your affirmation feel as real as possible, engaging all your senses to solidify the truth in your mind and in your body. This is where the magic truly happens, because the feeling is the secret. The affirmation is more than just words, it's a feeling you become. Now, here's where we begin to add a bit of tension, because let's be real. Doubt will arise during this 21-night process, and that's not only okay, it's completely normal. You might start to question if it's working, or if you're doing it right, or even worse, your old limiting beliefs may surface, whispering that you are not good enough, or that this is all just nonsense. But here's the thing. Those doubts aren't a sign that the process isn't working, they are actually a sign that it is, and that change is happening. Remember, your mind is conditioned to believe a certain way, and these doubts are simply the last stand of your old beliefs, desperately trying to hold on to their place. So instead of seeing them as a sign to stop, see them as a sign that you are on the verge of a breakthrough, a sign that your new beliefs are beginning to take root. The challenge is part of the process, not an indication of failure. These doubts are not your enemy. They are merely a sign that change is happening behind the scenes. Those feelings of doubt that might arise aren't a reason to stop, but a positive indicator that your new beliefs are pushing against the old. Imagine that you are planting a new seed, and the old roots are trying to take up space around the new seed, but the new seed will always prevail. This is the same with your beliefs. When you feel resistance, it's not a signal to give up. It's a signal that the old program is beginning to rewrite itself, and that you are on the brink of a new level of transformation. It's like a muscle getting sore after a workout. It's not a sign of injury, but a sign that you are getting stronger. It's a positive indicator that you're pushing the limits of your old self and moving into your new reality. The doubts are not a sign to stop, but a sign to keep going. They mean your new belief is pushing against the old, and that change is coming. Your commitment to the 21-night practice, therefore, isn't just about repeating an affirmation, it's a testament to your intention and the strength of your desire. It's proof that you are serious about stepping into your new reality, that you are dedicated to changing from the inside out. It's not just an action, it's a demonstration of desire. Think of it like signing a contract with yourself, a pledge to honor your deepest desires and to do the work needed to bring them into reality. This commitment, therefore, isn't just a practice. It's a powerful declaration of who you are choosing to be. It's proof to yourself and your subconscious that you are ready for change and that you will do what it takes to make it happen. So show yourself how committed you are, because this is how you change your life. And remember, with each repetition of your affirmation during this commitment, you're not just repeating words, but deepening the imprint of the new belief, subtly rewiring your subconscious. It's like carving a new path through a forest. The more you walk the path, the more defined and easier it becomes. The same is true with your affirmation. The more you repeat it with intention and feeling, the deeper the groove becomes in your subconscious, until it becomes the new standard. It's an active step in rewriting your subconscious beliefs and creating a new reality, one night at a time. Each repetition is a strengthening of the new path that you are choosing, so make sure you are committed to walking it. The more you repeat, the more your new reality is created. Now, let's move on, because you've committed to the practice. You're actively building this new reality, and now it's time to talk about letting go, which is just as important as the practice itself. This act of letting go is directly tied to the principle of trust, because true faith is knowing, not hopping. When you truly believe that your desire is already on its way, there's no need to cling to it desperately. It's like a seed that you've planted. You wouldn't constantly dig it up to check on it, would you? That would only disrupt its growth. You must trust that the seed will grow on its own, in its own timing. In the same way, you must plant your affirmation into your subconscious and trust that the universe is working on your behalf, making your manifestation happen. Worry is a lack of faith. It is a sign that you don't trust the process, and this will actively stop the process. So let go and allow it to happen. The universe responds to your state of being, not to your desperate wanting. It is attracted to who you are being, not what you are wishing for. If you are in a state of wanting, that is what the universe will reflect back to you. Remember that you must become the person who already has their desire, rather than constantly wishing for it. So the idea of the affirmation isn't just about saying the words, it's about stepping into the feeling of your desired state, acting as if it is already yours. The universe doesn't care about what you want, it only cares about how you feel. It is the state of being that is the key to manifestation. Therefore, you must embody the reality that you are creating, because that is what the universe will respond to. You must be it to receive it. Remember that the external world is simply a reflection of your internal world. External circumstances will shift to mirror your internal transformation, not the other way around. Therefore, if you want to change your outside world, you have to start from the inside, working on your beliefs and changing your state of being. Your external reality is like a mirror, reflecting back to you who you are, so make sure that you like what you see. If you want to change the reflection, you must change the source, which means that you must change from within. The external world will always reflect your internal state, so it is always best to start from within. The changes start within, and the outer world is just a reflection of that. So, as you continue with your practice, it is vital to pay close attention to the subtle shifts you'll begin to experience, because the changes aren't always dramatic. They're usually more subtle at first, but are signs that the affirmation is taking root. These might be a new sense of peace, or a feeling of greater ease, or maybe you find yourself in new places and in front of new people. Remember, it's not just the big shifts, but also the subtle ones that are important. Pay attention to these subtle shifts, both internally and externally, because they are evidence that the affirmation is working, that you are aligning with the new reality you are creating. These synchronicities are not accidents. They are a sign that the universe is responding to your change in consciousness, and that it is shifting to reflect the new reality you are creating. The changes are subtle, but they are happening. Let's revisit the metaphor of planting a seed and think of it like this. You've planted a seed of intention by stating your affirmation, and now you must trust that it will grow without constantly interfering, because worry is like digging up the seed to check on its progress every day. Instead, you have to nurture it with your practice and allow it to grow in its own time. You've set the intention, and now you must trust that it is unfolding. The affirmation is the seed, and the subconscious is the earth. You have already done what you needed to do, so don't stop the growth by constantly interfering. Allow the seed to grow, and you will be amazed at what blooms. You have done your part, and now it is time to step out of the way. Now, let's look at the feeling of faith and understand that faith is not just about believing something will happen, but knowing it has already happened, and by living in that feeling, it solidifies the manifestation. This goes back to the concept of living from the end, because when you truly know that your desire has already manifested, you begin to embody that feeling, and that embodiment is what solidifies it in the external world. The internal feeling of knowing makes the external reality inevitable. It's a deep knowing that has no room for doubt, because the knowing is the most potent part of the practice. The internal feeling of knowing is what shifts the external world into alignment. So be in the feeling of having it already. So with this new understanding, you'll start to notice synchronicities more often, because when you are in alignment, opportunities begin to present themselves. You might have a random encounter with someone who can help you, or you might stumble upon an unexpected resource, and these are not random occurrences. These are signs from the universe that it is responding to your internal shift. These opportunities were always there, you just weren't in alignment to see them. So embrace them when they show themselves. These synchronicities are not accidents. They are proof that you are in alignment with your desires, so pay attention to them. They are opportunities that you are now aligned to see and to use, so be grateful for them. Always keep in mind that the external world is always a mirror reflecting the internal shift, so don't focus on the external. You must work on your internal beliefs first. The external world is just a reflection of your internal changes, so start from within, and the external changes will naturally follow. Don't try to change the external, focus on the internal changes, because the external is just a reflection of the internal. You are the one who has to change first, and then the external world will begin to reflect that change. Remember, the changes start within, and the outer world will reflect that. Finally, let's look at the power of making the affirmation your last thought before sleep, because this is a powerful time for subconscious reprogramming, as your mind is most receptive to suggestion at this time. When you go to bed thinking about your affirmation, you're essentially planting a seed directly into your subconscious, and it will work on that all night long, solidifying the new belief even further. So make this the most important moment of your day, as it's a way to reinforce the new belief, so choose wisely. This is a way to consciously choose the program you want your subconscious to be running all night long. So use this time wisely and make your last thoughts potent ones. This entire process isn't a quick fix, but a gradual transformation, and the changes accumulate over time. It's not just about saying the words, but about actively rewriting your subconscious beliefs, and each night builds upon the last, further solidifying your new reality. This isn't just about repeating an affirmation, it's about consistently reshaping your mind, building a new life, one night at a time. Think of it as a slow and steady process, like building a garden. Each day, each night is an act of tending to your internal garden, and by doing this, the garden will begin to bloom. The change is gradual, but the cumulative effect is profound. The power of the practice is in the consistency. Also, remember that you're not alone on this path, which is why I invite you to share your experiences and support each other during the 21-night period. We're all walking the same path, and by supporting each other, we can create a more powerful shift for the collective. By creating a community, you will find that this is a supportive place, full of other people who are also working towards the same goal. This reinforces the idea that you are not alone in your journey and that there are others going through the same thing. This is a way to build a community to support the changes that you want to see. You are not alone in this, and we will all do this together. So, as we wrap up this section, remember that the secret word isn't a magical incantation. It's a powerful tool that has been hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to discover its power. These are ancient wisdoms, not just modern-day ideas, and they can be applied in your life for real transformation. This knowledge isn't new. It has always been there, waiting to be revealed, and now it is yours. You have the key, and you can use it to create the change that you desire. The secret word is in plain sight. It's the tool that will change everything, so use it wisely. So let's dive deeper into this concept of the secret word, because it's not simply an affirmation that you repeat, it's a doorway to a new state of being. It's not just about saying the words, it's about embodying them, living them, and feeling them in every cell of your body. The secret isn't in the word itself, but in how you use the word, which is to inhabit it fully. It's a tool to help you get into alignment with the feeling of your desire, creating a space where your manifestation can naturally unfold. The phrase is the entry point, but the feeling is the key to opening the door. You see, the secret word is more than just a phrase. It's an invitation to become the person who already has what you desire. It is about living from the end and knowing that it is already so. So you must ask yourself, are you merely saying the words, or are you truly living them? Because that is where the real power lies. Now let's shift the perspective on miracles, because they aren't random acts of divine intervention, but rather the natural outcome of aligning your consciousness with the universal laws that govern reality. Think of it like this. When you tune a radio to the right frequency, you receive a clear signal. In the same way, when you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the frequency of your desires, the universe responds by bringing them into your reality. This alignment is the true miracle, and this is something you create internally. It's not a supernatural event, but a natural consequence of who you are being, and it is not something that you wait for, but something that you create from within. The power isn't outside of you, it is you, so stop waiting for it to happen and start creating it. The key to unlocking this power lies within your own consciousness, and this is something that you have access to if you choose it. This is where the power of the affirmation comes into play, because the affirmation is the tool you can use to actively shift your inner world, which will, in turn, shift your outer world. The affirmation is what shifts your internal state, so it will reflect in your external world. It's like turning the dial on a radio, selecting a different station, and hearing a new song. When you shift your internal state of being, you shift the frequency you're broadcasting into the world, and that is how you create a different reality. Therefore, your external circumstances are not something that you need to struggle with. Rather, they are simply a reflection of your internal state. Change your inside world, and your outside world will naturally mirror that change. Remember that your outer world is not something that you must change. Rather, it is a reflection of your inner world. You must start from within, and the outside will match. To truly understand this, think of historical figures and examples of people who have embodied this concept of living from the end. They didn't simply wish for their desires, they lived as if they already had them, and their outer worlds shifted to match their internal realities. Whether it was a business success, an artistic triumph, or a moment of personal transformation, these individuals were living in the feeling of their desires, long before the physical manifestation. This isn't a new concept, it's an ancient practice that has been used throughout history. They weren't just hopping or wishing, they were actively feeling and knowing. These are not isolated cases, but rather a demonstration that this principle is universal and accessible to all, regardless of circumstance or background. So, how will you begin living from the end? Now, let's address some tension, because I know some of you may be feeling resistance as you commit to this 21-night practice. Doubts may start to surface, making you question if this is all just wishful thinking. These doubts may make you want to quit, thinking that you are not doing it right. But here's the truth. Those feelings of resistance aren't a sign that you're failing. They're actually a sign that you're on the right track, because the old beliefs are desperately trying to hold their ground. The fact that you are even experiencing these doubts is a good sign, because it means that the new beliefs are beginning to take root and push against the old programming. It means that change is happening beneath the surface. So do not let these doubts discourage you, because they are merely a sign that you are moving forward. These doubts are not a signal to stop, but a sign to keep going. The feeling of resistance that you are experiencing isn't a reason to throw in the towel. It's a sign that you are making progress. It's like a seed pushing through the soil. The seed has to push against the soil in order to grow, and this is the same with your beliefs. When you experience those doubts, it means that the new belief is pushing against the old. So, the very fact that you are experiencing these doubts means that the process is working. They are evidence that your new reality is beginning to take shape, and the old one is beginning to crumble. You are pushing up against the old version of yourself, and the new is beginning to bloom. Don't let this be a moment where you let your old self win, because these feelings are proof that you are on the brink of transformation. Giving up at this point is the biggest mistake that you can make, as you will be reverting back to your old patterns and missing the opportunity for true transformation. Quitting will just reinforce the old beliefs, making it even more difficult to make a change in the future, so don't stop now. You've come so far, and you are on the verge of a breakthrough. Therefore, giving up now means that you are denying yourself the opportunity to live your dreams. You're choosing to stay stuck in the old, rather than stepping into the new. You have the chance to create a new reality for yourself, but you must be willing to push through these difficult moments. This is the perfect time to push forward and prove to yourself that you can do this. Those who persist through the doubts are the ones who ultimately experience the shift, because they are the ones who are willing to commit to the transformation. The people who get the results are the ones who choose to push through the uncomfortable moments and continue the practice. The transformation isn't for those who give up. So make sure that you are the person who perseveres, because that is where you will find the change. You will be rewarded for your dedication, because the true transformation happens when you push past those feelings of doubt and resistance. This is where true strength is built. So, what choice will you make? Now, let's connect the concept of letting go with the understanding that the universe is always responding to your inner state. Letting go isn't a passive act of surrender, it's an active expression of trust. When you truly know that your manifestation is on its way, there's no need to control or force the outcome. You have already set the manifestation in motion by simply doing the practice, and that is enough. Therefore, letting go is simply knowing that your intention is already at work, and that you can now release the need to control how it shows up in your life. So, trust that the universe is working on your behalf, and open yourself to receive the good that is on its way to you. It's time to get out of the way and allow the process to work. True faith comes from a place of knowing, not from desperate wishing, and there is a difference between the two. When you truly know that something is on its way, there's no need to wish for it or chase it. You simply act from the knowledge that it has already happened. Wishing is a state of lack, while knowing is a state of abundance, so choose wisely. Wishing is about chasing and hopping and never actually receiving, but knowing is about embodying the reality of the desire. So, step into the state of knowing and watch how your life begins to transform. Remember that you already have what you desire, it's already done. So, how will you live from this place of knowing? Your external world is merely a reflection of your internal state, so it's important to focus on creating the change within, rather than trying to change the external world. Because if you change your inner world, your outer world will naturally shift to mirror it. Your outer world isn't something that you must struggle with, it's just a reflection of your inner world. So if you want a new reflection, you must start by creating a new internal state. Remember that the outer world is just a mirror, So start with the internal world first, because that is where the true transformation happens. The changes start within, and the outer world is just a reflection of that. So, how will you shift from within? Remember that your feeling of abundance is what creates actual abundance, not the other way around. Your feeling of abundance is the magnet that attracts more abundance to you. You are calling it forth by becoming it, rather than wishing for it. So it is about embodying the feeling, because that is what draws the desired manifestation to you. The feeling is the key to everything, because that is what the universe is responding to. You are calling it forth by being it, not wishing for it, so start to feel the abundance in your life. Become the person who is abundant, and it will naturally follow. The feeling creates the reality, so how will you choose to feel? Now, let's connect this idea of the affirmation with planting a seed, because both require patience and trust in the unfolding process. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day, you nurture it, and allow it to grow in its own time, trusting that it will eventually bloom. The same is true with the affirmation. It's the seed, and the subconscious is the earth. You nurture it with your practice, and allow it to grow without interference. When you do the work, the process naturally unfolds. You've planted the seed, so now you have to let it grow. Allow the process to work, because it will all happen in its own perfect timing. Your feeling of knowing creates a subtle shift in perception. The internal shifts are just as important as the external changes, because they are two sides of the same coin. You'll start to see things differently, as you will be in a state of alignment with your desires. You may notice new opportunities that you didn't see before, and you may experience an increased sense of peace and ease, so pay attention to these subtleties. They are evidence that your inner world is beginning to shift, and that is just as valid as any external change. These subtle changes are a testament to the internal changes that you are making. So, do not discount these quiet changes, because they are just as important as the big ones. As you continue with this process, you might start to experience synchronicities or opportunities that you never expected. Perhaps a new connection will come your way, or a resource you need will suddenly appear. These are not random occurrences. These are signs from the universe that it is responding to your inner alignment. The opportunities were always available to you, but you are now in alignment to see them and take advantage of them. These are the result of the inner work that you have done, so embrace them as they appear. They are proof that your internal shifts are creating an external change. Be aware of these small moments, because they are important. Always remember that your outer reality is always a mirror reflecting the inner state, so do not chase the external. Focus on making the internal shifts, and the external will follow. The changes always start from within, and your outer reality will simply reflect back the changes that you have made. So, if you want to change your external world, you must change your internal world first. You have the power to shift your outer reality by changing your inner reality first. The changes start within, and the outer world will naturally reflect that. You are in control of your reality, so choose wisely. Finally, let's circle back to the idea of making your affirmation the last thought before sleep. It's like planting a seed directly into the fertile ground of your subconscious mind, allowing it to work all night long. The last moments of the day are when your subconscious is most receptive to suggestion, so make them potent. This is the perfect time to reinforce the new beliefs that you want to create. The program that your subconscious is running all night will be the program that you are consciously choosing in your last thoughts. So use this time to your advantage and make the affirmation your last thought. Make it powerful and intentional so your subconscious is working on it throughout the night. Your consistent practice is creating new neural pathways that will eventually become your new reality. This isn't a quick fix, it's a slow and steady process that will create a lasting change, so commit to the journey. This isn't just about saying words, it's about reshaping your mind, which takes time and consistent effort. The changes will accumulate over time, as each night builds upon the last, making your new reality more and more solidified. So, commit to this process, because the changes will be profound and lasting. The power is in the consistency, and that is the key. Remember that you are not alone on this journey, which is why I invite you to share your experiences and support one another in the comments. We are all doing this together, and by creating a supportive community, we can create an even more powerful shift for the collective. This is a way for all of us to connect and share our experiences, creating a network of support and encouragement. This is a place where you can find strength and celebrate your wins, and also get help through your losses. We are doing this together, and the community is vital to this process. And so, as we conclude this section, remember that the secret word is a potent tool and that it has always been available to you. You now have the knowledge to use it to create the reality that you desire, and you have always had this power within you. The knowledge has been revealed, and now it's time for you to claim it. This ancient wisdom is now yours, so use it wisely and watch your life transform. This is how you create the life of your dreams, so get to it. The secret is in your hands, so how will you use it? The secret word, as we've discussed, isn't a magical phrase. It's a tool that you use to access the feeling of the desired outcome. It's the key to unlocking the state of being that already possesses what you want. It's not merely about uttering the words, but about fully embodying the reality that those words represent, and this embodiment is where you will find your power. The power isn't in the spoken word. Rather, it's in the feeling that the word evokes. It's the tool that you use to get into that feeling, and that's where the true shift occurs. This is more than just a practice. It's a transformation of your very essence. The secret lies in the feeling that the words evoke, and that feeling must be lived in the now. So, how are you choosing to embody that feeling? This practice isn't about chasing a desired outcome. It's about shifting your identity to the person who already possesses it. This is the essence of living from the end. It's not wishful thinking. It's about embodying a new reality, a reality that has already happened. This isn't about hopping. It's about being. This shift is the key that unlocks the door to your manifestation. When you embody the feeling of your desire, you create a magnetic force that draws that desire into your life. The secret word is your key to move from wanting something to being that thing. It's not a wish, it's a statement of fact. So, are you living in the feeling of your wish fulfilled? This internal shift then manifests as external changes, and this is what many call miracles. You'll see these as synchronicities and new opportunities that start to align with your newly embodied state. Your external world is nothing more than a reflection of the changes you've created within. The new opportunities were always there. It's just that you are now in alignment to see them. These synchronicities are your sign that the universe is responding to your inner transformation, and you are now drawing them in. The outer world is a mirror reflecting back the changes that you've already made inside. So, are you noticing the shifts happening around you? These changes aren't always immediate or dramatic, and you must not look for big external changes first. The initial shifts often happen internally, manifesting as a sense of ease, peace, or a newfound clarity. These subtle changes are just as significant because they are the foundations upon which your new reality is built. This is why a heightened state of awareness is needed, because the first changes are often very quiet. These inner shifts are the precursor to external manifestations, and they are just as valid. So, are you paying attention to the subtle shifts happening within? Now, let's address some tension, because many people experience doubt at this point in the 21-night practice, and it can feel like nothing is happening. It can seem like all of this is just wishful thinking, which is when many people quit. This is the point where the old beliefs are fighting back against the new ones you're trying to create, and the old patterns start to surface. The feelings of discouragement can become very strong, making you want to abandon the practice. However, this is also the most crucial point, because this is where the real transformation begins. This is where your commitment is truly tested, so how will you choose to respond? But what if I told you that those feelings of discouragement and doubt are actually a sign that the subconscious is being reprogrammed? What if they are a sign that your old patterns are being challenged by the new beliefs that you are planting? because this is exactly what's happening. The doubts and the resistance are a signal that the new program is actively being installed. They mean the old beliefs are being questioned and are now trying to reassert themselves. This isn't a sign to quit, it's a sign that you're making significant progress. Therefore, you must embrace this moment, because this is where the true transformation begins. So, what will you choose to believe? Giving in to these doubts will only lead you back to the old patterns. You'll be reinforcing the old beliefs, making it much more difficult to manifest the changes that you desire. Choosing to stop now means that you are choosing to return to the old version of yourself, which is why you are experiencing this discomfort. However, persisting through these doubts will create a lasting change, because you are showing your subconscious that you are committed to this new belief. This is the moment of choice. Are you willing to remain stuck in the old, or are you ready to step into the new? The choice is always yours. So, what will you choose? Those who commit to the practice, despite the challenges, are the ones who will ultimately experience its full potential. Those who persevere through the doubts and the feelings of discouragement are the ones who will see the greatest transformation. This is not for the faint of heart, it's for those who are truly ready to embrace change. This is a moment of self-discovery and commitment, a test of your dedication. Transformation requires a continuous choice, so are you ready to take it? Now, let's talk about letting go, because it's not a passive act, but rather a demonstration of your trust in the universe. True faith isn't about wishing or hoping, it's an unwavering knowing that your desired outcome is already on its way. When you truly know that your desire is coming, there's no need to control it or force it. You've planted the seed, and now you must let the process unfold. Therefore, letting go isn't about giving up, it's about trusting that your intention is already set into motion. So, are you willing to step out of the way and allow the process to work? The universe responds to who you are being, and not to what you are desperately wanting. This is why embodying the feeling of your desire is so important. The feeling is your magnet, and it's what draws in your desires. So, when you shift your internal state of being, you change the frequency that you are broadcasting into the world. You must become the person who already possesses what you want, and that is how you draw it in. Therefore, focus on becoming rather than wanting. This is the true key to manifestation, so what will you choose to be? The outer world is simply a mirror, reflecting the inner shifts that you have already made. If you want to see a different reflection, you must start by changing your internal world. The external circumstances will shift in order to match your internal state, so start with changing yourself, rather than the world around you. The world is just reflecting back who you are being. So, focus on the internal change and watch how the outer world shifts to match. Where will you begin to create change within? Abundance is a state of being. When you embody that feeling of abundance, you are attracting more of it into your life. It's a feeling, not just a thing. So it's not about chasing money or material possessions, but about embodying the feeling of abundance, because that feeling is the magnet that attracts more. You become the source of abundance rather than a seeker of it, and this subtle shift in perspective makes all the difference. Therefore, focus on embodying the feeling and watch how your outer world will reflect it. How will you choose to feel abundant? The affirmation process is like planting a seed. You must be patient and believe in the process, understanding that it will unfold in its own perfect time. The affirmation is your seed, and your subconscious mind is the fertile ground, so you must nurture it with consistent practice. Like a seed, you have to nurture it and allow it to grow. You don't dig up a seed every day, so you also must allow this process to work without interference. The process will naturally unfold if you trust it, so have patience and let the process work. Have you planted your seeds with faith? True faith comes from knowing that the desired outcome is already a reality, not just hoping that it will eventually happen. Your knowing solidifies it in the physical world. When you act from a place of knowing, you are calling your desires forth, not through wishing but through conviction. Therefore, your feeling of knowing is essential to this process, because that feeling is what activates your manifestation. So, how will you choose to act from this place of knowing? Synchronicities or subtle changes may appear in the form of unexpected resources or opportunities that you never expected. Perhaps it's a new connection that comes your way, a new opportunity that you stumble upon, or a resource that you didn't know you needed. These aren't random events. They are signs that you are now in alignment with your desires. The opportunities were always present. However, your shift in consciousness now allows you to see them. Therefore, be aware of these moments, because they are not coincidences. So, what are you noticing now that your awareness has shifted? These external changes are always a direct reflection of the internal transformation that you have created, which is why the inner shifts are so important. This emphasizes the power of the inner world. The outer world is a reflection of the inner, so it is vital to start with the inner work first, and then you can watch the outer world change to match. You have the power to shift your outer reality by shifting your inner world, so what changes will you choose to make? Remember that making your affirmation the final thought before sleep is a powerful way to program your subconscious mind throughout the night. It's like planting a seed directly into fertile soil, because it will continue to work while you rest. The last moments before sleep are the most potent, as the subconscious is open to suggestion. Therefore, make your last thoughts intentional, because they are programming your subconscious. So, how will you choose to use this time? The consistent practice of your affirmation creates new neural pathways, which will eventually become your new reality. This isn't an instant fix, but rather a gradual transformation that will solidify over time. Each night builds upon the last, making your new reality more and more concrete. Transformation is a process, and it happens over time with each repetition of the affirmation. This is a journey of self-discovery, and each night is a step forward. Therefore, stay committed to the process, and the results will come. Are you willing to commit to the transformation? You are not alone on this journey, which is why I encourage you to declare your commitment in the comments below. Share your affirmations and support one another along the way. This is a powerful community of like-minded people, all on the same path of self-discovery, and we are all here to support each other. So, use this space to connect with others and to share your experiences. It's a powerful network of support and encouragement, so use it to your advantage. We are all in this together, and we can help each other along the path. Are you ready to connect with others? The secret word is a powerful tool that has been available to you all along, and now you know how to use it. You now have the ability to create your desired reality. You have always had this power within you, and this practice allows you to unlock it. This ancient wisdom is now accessible to you, so use it wisely and watch how your life begins to transform. You are the creator of your reality, so what will you choose to create? So let's bring this all together, because the true revelation isn't that there's a magical word that you can speak to create miracles. The real, secret word is the feeling that embodies your desired outcome. It's a state of consciousness. It's not about hopping for something, it's about embodying the reality of that something in the present moment. This isn't a magic trick or an external fix, but an internal shift in your perception of reality, a transformation of your identity into the person who already possesses their desire. It's the practice of living from the end. The power has always been within you, and this practice has simply shown you how to unlock it. Therefore, the secret isn't in the word, but in the consciousness that you hold. So, what reality are you choosing to embody now? Throughout this journey, we've explored the intricate dance between inner alignment, emotional embodiment, and external manifestation, and you've discovered that they're not separate pieces, but rather a unified process. When you change your internal state of being, you then change your outer reality, because the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. The feeling creates the experience. The key is to feel the reality you desire as if it is already yours, and then you draw it into your experience. Therefore, these principles work together in perfect harmony, creating a beautiful and seamless dance of creation. So, are you ready to join the dance? The miracles, that we often seek are not supernatural events, but the natural and expected outcomes of aligning yourself with the universal laws of consciousness. This is not about divine intervention, but rather about understanding the natural order of the universe. When you embody the feeling of your desire, you naturally attract that desire into your experience. You're not hoping for a miracle, you're becoming a miracle. It's not about wishing, it's about knowing. This understanding transforms your perception of miracles and brings you into a new understanding of the universal laws that we are all under. So, are you ready to live a miraculous life? This understanding transforms you from being a passive recipient of life to being an active creator of your own reality. You are not at the mercy of external forces, and you have the power to consciously shape your experiences. You are the author of your life, the director of your own show, and this secret has revealed your power to you. The ability to create shifts has always been within you, and you have been given the tools to now use that power intentionally. This isn't something that you learn, it's something that you remember. Therefore, embrace your power and begin to create with intention. So, what reality are you now choosing to create? This secret word practice connects you with a broader lineage of ancient wisdom and spiritual traditions. You are now part of a historical group of individuals who have understood this power, and that power is now within you. It's not just a modern-day technique, but a concept that has been practiced and understood for centuries. This knowledge has been available to you all along. It was always just waiting for you to remember it. Therefore, know that you are part of something greater and embrace your position within this lineage of power. So, are you ready to take your place in history? The core pattern of inner state influencing outer reality isn't just some abstract concept. It's the foundation for all aspects of your life. Your feeling creates your experience, and therefore, the feeling must come first. The technique is not limited to just one area, but can be used to transform your relationships, finances, health, and everything in between. This principle is relevant and practical, and it can be applied to every single area of your life, every single day. This understanding will change the way you perceive the world around you. So, are you ready to experience this in every aspect of your life? This understanding now comes with the great responsibility of becoming a conscious creator. You now have the knowledge to actively shape your experiences and to create with intention. This practice will transform you into an active participant, making you responsible for your own experiences and knowing that you are the source of your own life. This isn't a passive practice, it's an active one that requires awareness and focus. Therefore, embrace your responsibility as a conscious creator and use this wisdom to create the life you desire. So, what will you choose to create with intention? This secret isn't a magic trick that bypasses universal laws, but rather a pathway to understanding and mastering the fundamental principles of creation. It's not just about manifesting, but about transforming your relationship with the universe. You now understand that you are not separate from the universe, but rather a part of it. By understanding and embodying these laws, you are actively participating in the unfolding of your own life, and not just a passive recipient of it. This shifts you from wishful thinking to active participation. Therefore, embrace this understanding and become the master of your reality. So, are you ready to take your power back? Now, let's return to the initial question of whether miracles are divine intervention or something more. The secret word, as we've now explored, is the key to understanding how faith and intention work together to create manifestation. It's about embodying the state of being that already has your desire and aligning yourself with that reality. This isn't just about saying words, it's about embodying the feeling. You've now transformed your perception, and you have been equipped with the tools to create similar results. Therefore, the initial question has now been answered, and you now have the ability to create. So, how will you now choose to create your reality? The mystery of this practice was never something external, but something that has always been within you, and you have now unlocked the power that was always within your grasp. You've rediscovered something that you've always known. You've now unlocked the secret that was hidden in plain sight. The key has always been within you, and now you know how to use it. Therefore, embrace the power that you have always held and use it to transform your own life. So, what will you now choose to unlock within yourself? Any questions that may remain are now resolved through the practical nature of this practice. It is accessible to anyone who is willing to commit to the 21-night process. It's not a question of if it works, but when it works, as long as you follow the process and stay committed to the practice. The process has been clearly laid out, and you now have the understanding to transform your reality. Therefore, follow the steps and trust that it's already working. So, are you willing to commit to your transformation? The practice of living from the end is not about chasing desires, but about embodying the desired state of being. You're not trying to acquire something, you are becoming it, and by embodying that state of being, you are drawing your desires into your reality. You no longer have to chase it, because you've become it. The key is in the feeling, and by embodying that feeling, you are becoming what you seek. Therefore, release the tension and embody the reality that you desire. So, what will you now choose to embody? Now, let's explore some new territory, because by putting this practice into your life, how will you apply it to transform your relationships, finances, or health? This is something that can be used to transform all aspects of your life. This isn't limited to just one area, but it can be used in every single aspect of your experience. Therefore, use this practice to expand into new areas and watch how your life will continue to transform. So, what area of your life will you choose to transform next? This journey has only just begun, as you will begin to uncover more of your unique potential with this practice, leading you on a path of self-discovery. This process is not just about manifesting desires, but also about discovering your true potential. This practice is a gateway, not just to a new reality, but to a new version of yourself. The journey of self-discovery has now begun. Therefore, embrace this path and trust that it will lead you to places you never imagined. So, where will your new path take you? So, remember to make your affirmation the final thought before sleep and continue this practice for the next 21 nights. Share your experiences in the comments below and connect with this community as you explore these new ideas. This is a space for growth, support, and transformation, and we're all here to support you on this journey. Therefore, keep going and embrace this transformative power. So, are you ready to take the next step? And as you continue to explore this path, I invite you to return for more content as we delve deeper into these ideas and share even more powerful techniques for manifestation. This isn't the end of the journey, it's simply the beginning. There is always more to learn and more to discover. I look forward to having you join us on this journey as we continue to uncover the secrets of the universe. Therefore, come back and continue to expand, and I'll see you in the next video. So, are you ready for the next adventure?